I'm in the town of Slunge now. I didn't record last night's stop. It was just a very small auto camp in a unspectacular little town. Now, I'm very near the Bosnian border. I won't be crossing into Bosnia this trip, but if you get the chance to visit that country, I highly recommend it. I thoroughly enjoyed my time in Bosnia. Now, Slunge has a castle, which is straight in front of us. It's just a ruin, so I won't be visiting that. However, below us is a river, and that provides some far more entertaining shots. So let's go and have a look. So at the bottom of the hill is a village of Rastoki, which has these wonderful waterfalls. And there are pools and things at the bottom which we're going to have a look at. But it's an absolutely stunning place. It is beautiful. Sadly, it's a bit grey today, but it is a wonderful place. Let's go have a walk down and have a look. Nice place to live. Constantly running water in the background. Two rivers combine here, and the waterfalls are apparently caused by the fact it's soft limestone rock, and therefore the water cuts through it fairly easily. But very, very nice. Water has a very peculiar effect on human beings, because they always seem to throw money. I don't know if you can see it glistening in the bottom, but there's lots of coins being chucked in here. Pagan concept, I think. Right, another waterfall below where I'm parked, with two, presumably what were mill buildings on either side. Now, as I mentioned, we're not far from the Bosnian border, and there is in fact an Austrian novel, I think it's written in the 1960s, about a couple escaping from Vienna, and going to the borders of civilization, which was Slunge Waterfall, the one we're looking at now. Because, as I mentioned, Bosnia is very, very close. This is a border town, really. And at that time, it's where the Ottoman Empire still held sway. Slunge was part of the Austro-Hungarian Empire at this time. That would be the 1800s. Anyway, I walked down here to get a closer look at the fort, because I want to find out more about it, really. And also the sun's come out, as you can see, which is a shame after all the videoing of the waterfalls in slightly grey conditions. The sun is now in full pomp and it's lovely and warm. Anyway, let's go look at the castle. Unfortunately, you can't get in. There's a large ditch all around this side, and on the other side where you possibly could, it's been bricked up. Anyway, it's medieval, and the Ottomans tried to take this place 13 times and were so cheesed off about not being able to have it that they actually complained to the Habsburgs that the local ruler wasn't playing by the rules. He should have given up by now. Anyway, eventually he had to. Legend says he was down to his last 20 men and left and went to Hungary, where he died. And then presumably the Ottomans took it. But a heroic defence against the Ottoman invaders. It's a shame. The notice board says there are plans to restore it, but the board looks quite old, so I suppose given the current situation in the world, that's probably quite low on Croatia's to-do list. But anyway, that was Slunge. A really atmospheric little town. I'm going to make my way back to the van and move on. Right, I'm in a camper stop at a place called Gach. I think that's how I pronounce it. And in the distance over there, it's lovely and bright. And over those hills is the coast, and it's meant to have been 70 degrees over there today, but I chose to come down the inland road because I wanted to go to the city of Canin, or the town of Canin, which is where I'll be going tomorrow. But if we just step outside into my little camper stop, which is very nice, by the way, very quiet, and we look in that direction, that's what I'm faced with tonight, over those hills of Bosnia. And it's well, it's been thundering. We had a little bit of lightning. I am the only person on this camper stop, apart from someone who pulled in just after me, and you can probably just see their bonnet next to mine. Why they chose to park so close, I really don't know. But anyway, I'm going to have to go back in the van because it's starting to rain. So tomorrow, after Canin, I'm heading that way. The camper stop was a really good place. Hot water, everything you need, very cheap. But it was cold last night up in the hills, and as you saw, it rained as well. So I've decided not to bother with Canin and to head down to the coast. And as you can probably tell by the footage, as I drop down, it's instantly become warmer. It's quite early yet, but easily in the mid-60s. I've got the window open in the van. So I think I made the right choice. So seaside, here I come. Well, this is not what I expected to see in a quiet road in a quiet corner of Croatia, but heading down to the coast, I came across this Russian-made T-55, which belonged to the JNA, which is the Yugoslav National Army. And that army, in association with Serb paramilitaries, apparently tried to cut down through these hills to the sea to split Croatia in half. And there was a bit of a battle around here, and I think, according to the little logo, as far as I understand it, this battle was where one of the first tanks of the Yugoslav National Army was destroyed. Not this actual one, this one came later to mark the spot. But anyway, let's have a look round. Now, if I remember rightly, there's a T-55 in the Imperial War Museum in Salford, outside, which came from the Iraq War. I think it's a 55, might be a 60, I'm not sure. But let's have a look. If you were lightly armed infantry, you wouldn't want to see this thing rumbling towards you, that's for sure. I'm not sure how they managed to destroy the tank, but it was an important battle. Let's have a look. There's stuff here in Croatian, but obviously I don't know much about it. And then that's what the driver then had to look through then, those two tiny slits. Not a lot. It appears to be a poem, and of course I have absolutely no idea what it means. But anyway, there you go. An unexpected find. And a sad reminder, really, of the tragedy of the breakup of Yugoslavia. Hopefully, just memories now. Right, I made it to the Croatian coast, and I'm on a small campsite which runs down, and the bushes at the bottom you can see is the sea. So let's go and have a look. There's an interesting vehicle down there as well. A comprehensively restored Unimog, probably mid-70s looking at the bonnet. I'm not entirely sure, but probably. It's had a lot of work done to it. It's in superb condition. And next to that, a Vespa PX that the guy who owns the campsite runs around on. Apologies if there's some background noise. They're rebuilding a jetty not far away, which is quite loud. But anyway, as you can see, absolutely stunning vista. And on that little island just over there, there's a tiny church. And the water is absolutely crystal clear. Beautiful. Right, let's have a look along here at the town. It has a harbour. I'm sure there's not much else. I think it's just a small village. But this is going to be my home for 3 days, so I'll just basically do domestic stuff and rest up. I wonder where that boat goes. There seems to be a town or something on that island over there. I must investigate. So there appears to be 3 harbours. This one, small fishing boats, and then another small one next to that, and then beyond that what seems to be the pleasure craft. Although the one at the end looks like it's a larger tourist boat. Anyway, we shall walk along and have a look. An attractive little village. Small, but very pleasant. Right, the second harbour is clearly more pleasure related. There are boats for hire and still a few fishing boats, but mainly tourist type stuff. And then this poor thing, somebody's very expensive yacht has sadly gone up in flames big time. Totally gutted. Terrible. There are a couple of what look like Roman era bits of stone in the churchyard, but what I really liked was this stone, which is hand carved obviously, dating back to 1694, and then right at the edge here they've got D. Nicola, but they've run out of room, so they've got Nicol, and then underneath is the A. Bit of a whoops that one, but anyway, 1694. The church itself clearly doesn't date from that time, or it's been extensively rebuilt if that's the case. There's another Roman column by the side of the door.